No man can accumulate riches, whether financial, spiritual, or intellectual, without first deciding with absolute precision what he wants. Vague wishing and half-hearted hoping have never moved mountains nor built empires. Wealth responds to clarity. The world yields its treasures only to those who possess a definiteness of purpose so firm, so exact, that every thought, every breath, and every movement is governed by that single, dominating aim. This purpose must be declared not merely in the mind, but written, reviewed, and felt with intensity every single day. It must become the ruling obsession of your life, not a hobby of the mind, but a command issued from the soul. When a man knows what he wants, all distractions lose their power. He no longer wakes up wondering what to do. He wakes up knowing what must be done. He is not pulled in 10 directions by idle opinions or the demands of lesser goals. He has chosen, and because he has chosen, his path begins to unfold. Opportunities begin to align, resources emerge, and people of influence are drawn to him, not by luck, but by the magnetic pull of clarity and purpose. Definiteness of purpose is a force. It sharpens decision, speeds action, and burns away the hesitation that weakens the efforts of lesser men. This singularity of aim also breathes life into other faculties. It ignites desire, it fuels faith, it gives energy to persistence. Without purpose, effort scatters and willpower fades, but with purpose, effort concentrates and energy multiplies. The mind becomes a powerful instrument, no longer drifting with every wind of chance, but driving forward like a well-built engine, calibrated to the exact destination chosen. Those who rise to greatness are not necessarily the most educated, the most gifted, or the most fortunate. They are the most determined. And determination is born when purpose is known, chosen, and never surrendered. The man who moves with definite purpose does not ask permission, does not wait for approval, and does not retreat at the first sign of resistance. Desire is the starting spark of all achievement, but it must not be mistaken for mere wishful thinking. To wish for wealth is common. To long for success is natural. But to possess a burning desire, a white-hot, unrelenting obsession that consumes your thoughts and directs your actions, is rare, and it is the critical difference between mediocrity and mastery. This kind of desire is not casual. It is not lukewarm. It is an inner fire that will not be extinguished, a state of mind that insists upon fulfillment and will settle for nothing less. It is desire transfigured into determination, animated by faith and directed by clear purpose. A man who holds such a desire will find himself driven to act with unusual boldness. He will take risks that the average man avoids, not out of recklessness, but because his vision is so vivid it becomes more real than his current reality. He sees the result long before it manifests. He speaks of it as already possessed. His desire is not limited by logic, nor constrained by current circumstances, because it does not come from external suggestion. It is born from within, relentless and personal. When this level of desire is present, failure becomes fuel. Rejection becomes redirection. Obstacles become instruction. Nothing can stand in the way of a man who has decided to win and refuses to let go of his vision. Desire of this magnitude demands that one become obsessed in the best sense of the word. It requires sacrifice. It means saying no to comforts, silencing doubters, and enduring loneliness, all in pursuit of something only you can see. This burning desire becomes the invisible force that awakens you early, keeps you up late, and refuses to let you waste time. It compels you to study, to improve, to persist, and to adapt. It is the engine behind action and the antidote to doubt. No man rises above the crowd unless he first carries within him a desire so powerful that it drowns out every excuse, every fear, and every opposing voice. Faith is not mere religious sentiment. It is the creative force that transforms thought into its physical counterpart. It is the element that turns invisible ideas into tangible riches. the unseen substance that molds belief into reality. Faith is the alchemy of the mind, turning poverty into prosperity, limitation into liberation, defeat into dominion. It is the unseen architect behind every triumph, the silent builder behind every fortune. When a man mixes faith with his definiteness of purpose and burning desire, he releases a power greater than muscle, greater than intellect, greater than luck. He taps into the limitless creative force that governs all achievement. True faith is not passive. It is active, aggressive, and commanding. It is not something you wait to feel. It is something you decide to generate. It is built through repetition of thought, through daily affirmations spoken aloud with emotion, through the habitual occupation of the mind with the image of success as though it were already achieved. A man does not stumble into faith. He forges it. He repeats his purpose, engraves it on his consciousness, and breathes life into it until it becomes the dominant force of his inner world. Once this faith is established, fear has no foothold, doubt loses its voice, and hesitation becomes foreign. Faith magnetizes the subconscious mind. It commands unseen forces, aligns circumstances, and attracts the people, opportunities, and ideas necessary for achievement. The man of faith walks differently. He speaks with assurance, acts with confidence, and refuses to entertain the thought of defeat. He is not swayed by appearances nor moved by temporary setbacks. His belief is not based on what is, but on what shall be. And because he believes with such intensity, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself around his conviction. This is why faith is the master key to personal power. It changes the thinker before it changes the world. And once the thinker is changed, the world must follow. The mind does not think in isolation. It responds, reacts, and ultimately reflects the thoughts that are deliberately fed into it through repetition. Autosuggestion is the medium through which man reprograms his inner world. It is the bridge between conscious intention and subconscious belief. Every spoken word, every mental picture, every emotion-laden phrase repeated to oneself is a seed planted in the soil of the subconscious, and the subconscious, being fertile and obedient, does not question. It accepts, acts, and brings forth fruit according to the nature of the seed. Whether that seed bears thorns or wheat is determined by the gardener himself. When a man learns the discipline of speaking his desires aloud with conviction, declaring his goals with feeling, reading his purpose daily with emotion, and affirming his vision repeatedly, he begins to overwrite the programming of doubt, fear, and limitation that may have ruled him for years. This is not idle positive thinking. It is mental training. It is the deliberate installation of belief, the conscious conditioning of the inner man to expect success, to anticipate achievement, to assume victory before the battle has even begun. Autosuggestion must be done with intention. It must be spoken when the mind is quiet, early in the morning before the demands of the world invade, and again at night when the subconscious is most receptive. Through this daily practice, belief becomes automatic. Confidence becomes natural. Doubt fades like a shadow before the rising sun. The man who once questioned his worth now moves with quiet authority. The goals that once seemed distant begin to feel familiar, even inevitable. And this transformation does not come by chance, but by repetition, through the slow, steady saturation of the subconscious with thoughts that align with his purpose. When the internal programming changes, everything external must eventually follow. For a man does not achieve what he wants, he achieves what he believes, and belief is shaped, sculpted, and solidified through the unrelenting practice of autosuggestion.